Hey, I've made a sample pack, and it's made out of the sounds I've used to create my album Just Hang In There. And in this video I'm going to be showcasing some of them. So as you can see on the left, this is the layout of the sample pack. I'll just go through the different categories of sound that you have. So you have ambience, which is like background recordings of noise and stuff. As you can see, each recording usually has like the song that it's from. Then you have atmospheres, which is more tonal background material. These were made usually with my guitar pedals and other effects. And then you have drums, there's the loops. And there's the one-shots. There are fills, which are some are tonal and some are atonal. There's the full recordings folder, which is a bunch of like long recordings of me improvising stuff. There's the melody loops, which are a bunch of short melodic phrases. Most of them are time synced. There's the sound effects. And there's the tonal one-shots, which is either chord one-shots or like acoustic and sound designed one-shots. So yeah, now that we've gone through the structure, I'm going to show you how I made a short demo to the sample pack. So I started by grabbing the bass from wood, which is just like this repeating droning bass sound. I had to pitch everything to F sharp major. And then I just picked at random a bunch of atmospheric samples and just layered them half a bar each one. And then I used this fill sound to bring me into the chorus with this atmosphere. And there's always in the background playing some waves ambience. Yeah, so when the chorus hits, it goes like this. So yeah, let's break it down. We have like the stomp drums from Tides. And then some additional kicks, which are a lot shorter from Kites. And then I've also added this Foley white noise loop, which just helps with the rhythm. And then there's this white noise downlifter. There's some ARP in the background. And also an acoustic slide guitar that brings us into the chorus. Here's how it sounds on its own. I've just added like some reverb and delay to make it sound wider and also more sustained. And then on top of that, we have a small pluck playing an arpeggio. And there's an 808 playing the bass line that matches this sound. And then on top of the this basic structure, I also have like a lead melody, which is this thing. It's taken from Kites. It's this sort of flute looping sound that slightly oscillates and moves between the pitch a bit. So it's great for creating very convincing leads. And I just wrote out and played like a short riff, and then I started adding some pitch bending. It also has a bit of delay on top. So you get something like this. And then there's like the B section to this part, which is right here. So there's a lot of tiny bits happening that make for a great fill. So we have this fill one shot. And with the drums, it sounds like this. And then there's a sub bass drop. And instead of the ARP from before, I added an acoustic guitar strums from Tired. And pretty much everything that happens in that track is being filtered by an effects track that I've built, and it sounds like this. Let me remove it for a second so we can just play like the separate parts. So this is the guitar. And then I've also added a tambourine loop. It's slightly offbeat, it's slightly swung, which makes for an interesting rhythm in my opinion. Especially with the guitar. And then the bass changes from the 808 we had before to a Reese bass from Hurts to Breathe. It plays almost the same notes with just a tiny bit of slide since it is a Reese bass. And let's see if anything else changes as well. Oh yeah, there's this tiny bird's fill, which is this sound. I just cut up a small piece. And a great trick is to add a spring reverb that's pitched down a lot, so it just vibrates almost like a delay at a very low rate. And just with everything being filtered down, it just makes for a great feel. And then I've added a different fill also from Tide, just a more fleshed out fill to indicate we're ending this section. And then I keep playing this main arpeggio, but I also added the Reese bass and this granular piano from Hurts to Breathe. It sounds like this, and it just plays like the chords. So you get something like this. And just to add some additional elements, I also added this string one note from Hurts to Breathe. Oh, and also transition-wise, there's this very long transition that starts at the start of the chorus and ends when it ends. So it slowly builds up. It's this sort of distorted guitar, yet still a bit tonal transition. And then it ends very quietly with just the arpeggio, the background noise, and this cute synth from Tired. And then I kind of wanted to add this pad, which didn't make it to Kites. That's why it's called Scrapped. But it sounds really cool, and I thought it was a nice finishing touch for this track. Sort of reminds me of the 1975. And yeah, that is pretty much the entire workflow. So every sound in this track is from the sample pack. You can see I have a lot of samples mapped out, and also like instruments that I made from those samples, like the 808, the granular piano, the Reese bass, the flute, and the arpeggio pluck. So I guess my flow was mostly adding like the rhythmic elements. Those were the easiest since they don't have a key. And then when I started adding like the melodic elements, most of the times I had to stretch them to fit the tempo and also my key of the song. So in most cases, if it's a major key, then like what I would do is just pitch it to my major key, which is F sharp. But in case it was a minor key, I would pitch it to be 3 semitones below my major key, because these keys share the same notes. So in my case, it would be F sharp major and D sharp minor, which would share the exact same notes. And that's how I made like this section. Since a lot of these are like, some are in major keys, but some are in minor keys. So that's the adjustment that I had to make. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I believe that this sample pack is like a very nice encapsulation of my process with this album. And it can yield you very nice, like a blend of acoustic and electronic results that in my opinion are very great for that sort of uplifting, reminiscent Eden, Jeremy Zucker sort of sound. So yeah, I hope you like the sample pack, and I'd love for you to send me if you make something with it. I'd love to hear it. So yeah, see you later.